Hi, Miss. This is my presentation. The brain. What is the brain? It plays a main role in coordinating the activities and is the largest organ in the human body. It is responsible for our memory, thoughts, our judgment, and our emotions. Each part of the brain has its own responsibilities, such as controlling hands, eyes, nose, regulating temperature, and breathing. It has a weight of 13 to 1400 grams and is made up of 1,000 billion neurons. 7 each neuron are surrounded by 10 glial cells. It is covered by magnins such as spinal cord, outer dura mater, middle dura mater, and inner pia mater. It has two hemispheres just like the Earth. Each side of the hemispheres has their own subparts which control different parts of the human functions. Parts of the brain. The parts of the brains are cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, and diencephalon. Cerebrum. The main duty of it is to process our thoughts, memory, judgment, problem-solving, language, and imagination. This part of the brain is located in the upper portion and is the largest section. It has a layer called the cerebral cortex, which contains billions of neurons and is 2 to 4 meters thick. It is subdivided into left and right hemisphere, but both of the hemispheres are connected by a bridge called corpus callosum. Lobe of cerebrum. Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal lobe. Frontal lobe is the most anterior portion just under the skull. It controls our personality, speech, and motor function. It is responsible for reasoning, problem-solving, planning, movement, emotion, and communication. It is also called the motor cortex. As you can see from the diagram, that's where it's located. Parietal lobe is the superior portion of the cerebrum and is located on the top of the portion of the head. It receives inputs and interprets nerve impulses and language from the receptor. The main function of this part of the cerebrum is to receive inputs from the skin, such as touch, pressure, temperature, and pain. It is also called the sensory cortex. From the diagram, that's where it's located in the diagram. Occipital lobe, also known as visual cortex, the role of this lobe is to receive inputs from the eye. Its function is to control the vision and is located in the back of the skull. It is due to our vision mapping. This lobe helps us improve our memory by accessing distance and size of things around us. The diagram is located in the front, well, at the back. Temporal lobe. The lobe plays a role in controlling our hearing, smelling, and senses. It is located on each side of the head, above our ear. It is also known as auditory cortex. It helps us understand things such as types of language we hear, the taste of food, and the types of sound we hear every day. The function of this lobe also includes information of long-term memory, processing new sound, taste, and smell. As you can see from the diagram, that's where it's located. Cerebellum is the second largest portion in the human brain after cerebrum. A groove called the transverse fissure separates the cerebrum from cerebellum. The function is to help with body movement, maintain balance, and equilibrium. It is located right under the posterior parts of cerebrum. It also helps the body learn from the experience and process language. Brainstem. Connected to the spinal cord and controls the flow of message from brain to the human body. It also controls the basic functions such as breathing, heart rate, swallowing, consciousness, tells the brain if you're awake or asleep, and the blood pressure. It is composed of midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. Brain development in the prenatal period. As we get older, our body starts making changes, and so does our brain. Lots of factors that see changes, and they are brain shrinkage, memories, prefrontal cortex, cerebellum, frontal lobe, temporal lobe. Common changes: difficulty learning new information, remembering something new takes longer, difficulty in doing multitasks such as planning two events at once, recalling information begins to decline at the age of 20, such as remembering number, a name of an address. Remembering an appointment becomes difficult unless being reminded. Physical changes. After the age of 40, the volume of the brain decreases at a rate of 5% per decade. The temporal lobe, cerebral vermis, cerebral hemisphere, and the hippocampus sees reduction in the volume, while the occipital cortex is the least affected. The neurons in the brain also decrease as we age. Cognitive changes. Dopamine decreases as we age by 10% per decade from childhood, which is associated with our motor function. Decrease in glucose metabolism and oxygen can occur with aging of the brain. Types of aging which occurs in the brain are molecular aging, intercellular aging, tissue aging, and organ changing. And these are the reference which I've used in order to get the information. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.